One thing, my parents, for some reason they look and sound different. Like Kim and Kanye.
Hi, Charlotte.
I am Ada!
Jesus Christ, I never thought we'd be making this video, but here we are. Kanye West. He is a man who needs little to no introduction. To some, he is a rapper, producer, artist, fashion designer, genius, gay fish. And to others, he's a bigoted, egotistical psychopath who just so happens to be a nut. Regardless of what you think about this man, you know who this man is. He is possibly the personification and picture book definition of what it means to be a celebrity. Now, I've been listening to this man's music ever since I was like 13 or 14, so this was around the time of the Ye/Kidsy Ghost era. To say this man's music has made an impact on me is an understatement, because it's not just influenced us as a generation, it's also inspired all the other artists of the modern day. Without him, artists like The Weeknd, Travis Scott, Drake, and many others wouldn't sound exactly how they do without his influence. Unfortunately, this man's talent would ultimately be overshadowed by his arrogant personality, where he would say and do things that would make people say, wow, this guy's an arsehole. He was very open about expressing his opinions and beliefs to the world, even if said beliefs and opinions weren't really making much sense at the time. And me being the naive fool that I am, I would usually write it off and say, oh, he's having another bipolar episode. He's just going on and expressing himself. And now looking back on it, why did I think that? I think I was only defending what he was saying was due to the fact that I was still enjoying his music at the time. Hell, I even went as far as bought myself a pair of Yeezys for myself. I just didn't want to believe that he was the person that the media outed him as to be. Especially when you look back at his older stuff and his interviews, they really just contradict the person who he is today. Which is now, unfortunately, where I get started. In 2022, he went onto Twitter and started attacking many Jewish people for no reason, even going as far as to defending a certain Austrian painter. He would even take it one step further by going on Alex Jones's show saying how much he loves that man. It was so bad it got to a point where I just said to myself, why am I defending him? I think that's mainly because the child in me still look up to him and saw him as some sort of hero. But you know what they say, never meet your childhood heroes. After that, in 2023, he went completely off the grid, with the only news of him being getting sloppy on top of a boat in Venice. Then in 2024, he announced he's dropping Vultures alongside Ty Dolla $ign.
I like to get my dick sucked while I'm getting high.
And yeah, this album was not good. He then says he's gonna drop a second one, but then delays it multiple times, then finally releases it, and it still sounds unfinished. He even went as far as to AI his own voice onto one of the songs and use AI-generated imagery to promote the album. He then announces on Twitter saying that he wants to hire an AI-generative team to make all the stuff for him, and really, this is where I should have started seeing the fall off. Now, Kanye is an artist, and art is supposed to express the emotion and mindset of the person making it. Now, I understand art is supposed to be subjective to the beholder, but when you're using a computer to generate your image, it's not art. Art isn't something that could be replicated or taught. It's something that we as humans express. Speaking of expression, his wife would constantly be walking around parading herself butt naked everywhere she goes. Now, it's a lot of people were saying that Kanye was controlling what she was wearing, and some others saying, oh no, she just matches his crazy. Either way, I do not care. If you're walking around the street butt naked and getting nothing but praise for it, then you're just an attention whore. On top of that, a couple more lawsuits from the past, and we're starting to wonder if he really is back or he's back to his evil self. Then in like the late summer of last year, it got revealed that his dentist was getting him addicted to nitrous, which was basically laughing gas, and he was also seen as the main reason why Kanye was saying all the anti-Semitic stuff. And all I'm gonna say is, never ever trust a dentist that looks like he deals Class A on the side. But after that, Ye does a show in China, becomes a billionaire again, and then announces he's gonna drop Bully this year. So in my mindset, I was just like, yeah! We're so fucking bad! And then he does this. It has never been more over. February 7th, 2025, Kanye goes on another Twitter rant. He continues to express his unversed hatred for Jews and love for Hitler, and it just gets worse from there. He continues on and goes and says, fuck Virgil. And to any Liverpool fans watching this, no, I am not talking about Virgil van Dijk. Although, fuck him. I'm talking about Virgil Abloh, the former fashion designer for Louis Vuitton before Pharrell was. And he's inspired and created the fits what most modern day rappers would wear today. And him and Kanye used to be friends before he died, as Virgil was the one who gave him the ideas for Yeezy designs. So he's attacking someone who hasn't done anything wrong and was considered a friend by you and other creatives in your industry. He then goes out and says a bunch of homophobic and ableist stuff, which all causes people like Travis Scott, Frank Ocean, and Tyler the Creator all to unfollow him and everything. Like, these are the people that you have inspired, and your way of gratitude to them is to piss on them R. Kelly style. And since he's on the topic of predators, he says his worst thing yet. He tweets at Trump to free Diddy.
Completely wrong, wasn't I? I had the dates wrong all this time. Diddy, come on out.
This man could have said free anyone. He could have said free Rocky. He could have said free Luigi. But Puff, the man who literally got caught beating his wife on camera, a man who has attempted to kill Kid Cudi and may or may not be the reason why Tupac and Biggie are dead. A man who has done such unspeakable things to other human beings. And your plan is to partner with his son, who is also an alleged awful person, to release shirts saying to free him. No! Keep him in prison. He probably enjoys being in there. And it just didn't stop until he finally decided to deactivate his account. I have never seen someone fall off so hard in my life. He kept on tweeting his Nazi stuff. Like, dude, you're defending a man who would kill you if you looked in his eyesight. And then I see people tweeting at Elon asking him to be removed off of Twitter permanently. Like, dude, are you forgetting he's a literal Nazi too? And then I see some people also saying, oh, he's rage baiting. He's only saying this stuff because some people are afraid to speak their minds on the internet. Dude, even if either one of them were the cases, it still makes him look like a complete and utter loser. Now, I'm only going to say this once. If you're a fascist and you watch my videos, then do me a favor and do what your leader did to himself. Because there is just no excuse for what he has said and done. Being bipolar or autistic isn't going to cut it. And neither is no half-assed apology trying to validate it. It's just so sad to see someone who you've looked up to for so long turn out to be a bigoted, attention-seeking shell of a person who he once was. Like, his legacy is now going to be just forever remembered for what he was saying, and that's going to damage all the legacies of his children now. He has single-handedly ruined his career. I said in my last video, I am not excited for Vultures 3 or Bully. So please do not ask me to make a video on either of them, because I'm not going to. And some of you are also probably going to go out and say something like, oh, you need to learn to separate art from the artist. Like I said earlier, it's not art if you're putting AI in your music. But yeah, it's over now. Earlier today, I went onto my Spotify. I deleted every single album off of my playlist. And then I went onto my main playlist and I hit shuffle. The first thing that came up was Family Business. And I shed a tear because of the person who made this song isn't the person who he is today. I already have Kendrick as my favorite artist of all time, but I need to find someone else now. And that is why Playboi Carti is now my new favorite artist in the world, who has not done anything wrong in his entire... Oh, for God's sake, who's next? And that is why Red Hot Chili Peppers are the greatest band of all time, because they have never... Oh, for God's sake! Prince is one of the most influential artists of all time and has never ever done anything... Are all these people just assholes? You know what? I'm ending the video here. I know I said I'm going to take a break from the internet, but I needed to talk about this. And in conclusion, I'm just going to start blasting out the Smiths, because Morrissey has never done me any wrong. Wait, he's a jackass too? Man, fuck! And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your